Well, hello, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to Owoh's Corner, my own little corner of art. And in today's stream, I am back working on my teaser trailer, and I am working on another, more shorter animation, but we'll get to that at at a later date, a later time. It is December the 6th, Tuesday, and we are here for my regularly scheduled Tuesday stream, which usually starts at 10:30, but because of work as you know, I have to start 30 minutes earlier. So we are starting at 10:03 Eastern Standard Time. And I am working on this elf character that I told you guys about. It's coming along nicely. One of the things I find difficult is drawing hair for male characters. I'm not really used to drawing long hair. I don't really know how to. So, this is good, not just good practice for myself, but it's also going to help me in the long term. I want to give his hair a more pushed up and not really windswept, but sort of like pushed up to the side. Like he definitely has a sort of part on the side of his head, and so the rest of his hair just curves to go down like from the side and from the top. Look, because my hair is short and it's always been kind of short, it's kind of hard for me to draw characters with longer and more diverse hair, okay? But for this world, I definitely want the different races and subspecies to have inklings of their fantasy culture, like with elves. Because humanity has a basis for what an elf is, because fantasy existed before the Cascade, so people know what elves are, people know what orcs are, people know what beastmen and seamen seamen and fish people and other creatures like that are. So they already have a basis for their culture. It's like elf culture and orc culture is very much based off of like what people saw in fantasy. so so for the people here, for the elves in Witches 13, their fondness and their more gearing towards having long hair isn't to show their age or to have their sort of regality on their sleeve. It's more so like, hey, we wrote stories where elves had long hair. So, I want to fill that stereotype of what we drew up in the past. That's why they have long hair. And then the orcs, they're usually either bald or they have like buzz cuts or very low or very short hair. And that again goes back to fantasy depictions of orc of like, hey, like we because we drew and because we have art and different stories of orcs having like no hair or like very short hair, we should get together and have short hair. It's very much it's very much people following fads. Like this is coming off of I want to say Y2K and early 2000s. So it's very much so the culture and the overall anthropology is very much geared towards fads as well as what's popular and what's hip and cool at the moment. You know, I still have my sketchbook. What I might do is during one of my during my lunch break or probably during one of my like 15-20 minute breaks, I might actually draw like a character rough or a character sheet of this character because this is a bad thing and you guys shouldn't do it, but I'm kind of going off of, you know, emotion or what I feel would work best for this character. And you know, that it's good to go off of emotion or it's good to go off of like what looks cool every once in a while. But whenever you're animating or doing art, you should have a rough idea or a rough plan of what you want to do because things can sort of go awry. And so the plan you have is more so to keep things from getting too out of hand. Like right now, I'm drawing the hair and I'm more so getting a shape of the hair. I'm not trying to dedicate too much to what it looks like or each individual strand. I'm more so getting the idea and the rough shape of the hair and what I want the hair to look like. And so again, it's this sort of pushed back and parted hairstyle because as I mentioned in my previous stream, this character is a model. Like because of the events that happened, because of the cascade and the resurgence of magic as well as the revitalization of the environment and the people, because fantasy exists in reality now, it has led to all sorts of things and all sorts of different sorts and all sorts of different, you know, niches and desires and people liking certain things. So like in this world, elves are seen as otherworldly and beautiful. So elves are going to be like your models or people who, you know, do very much risque work. And then you have Beastmen and Beastskin. And this is coming off of, you know, also early 2000s uh, furry culture as well as internet thirst art culture where I'm trying to be realistic with this. Like, if there was a, what, 6'2" wolf man or like a 7 foot tall bear person or 5'2" cat girl, let's be honest. Those people wouldn't be in cages. Those people wouldn't be like in chains or anything. Nobody would be scared of them. Like, a lot of the people would just want to, like, you know, explicitive stuff with them. So that's pretty much what this world is showing people and sharing with people some more uh, base or down to earth takes rather than, stereotypical racism of like, oh, they work for less, or oh, they want to steal our jobs, or oh, they can attack us, they can hurt us, like they're scary. No, it's not really like that. It's more so like, ooh, these people are exotic, like let me fulfill my desires with them. But even then, that has its own implications, and it's also going to have its own difficulties in this world because many of these races are seen as exotic and enthralling and sort of objects of desire. It has also led to, while they are more while these creatures and people are more geared towards certain types of work, it can also lead to harassment as well as undesired attention, which is something that is nice to explore. Because even though this world is about hope and is about what's the word? Even though one of the things about this show is hope and is human progress and human potential, as we move towards human potential, there are still some things in the background or some things that we forget to take account of. And that is one of the things. Like some of the things that we don't really pay attention to off the cup or at first glance. And those are themes and ideas that I'd like to explore in this world. Like this is a lot of current and present media falls into the trap of wanting to make of wanting to make things modern day or wanting to have modern issues in fantasy settings. The You can't have modern issues in fantasy settings because fantasy is meant to be an escape and sci-fi is meant to be this far future idealized society. And even in science fantasy, my plan isn't to have modern issues. Like in a science fantasy world needs science fantasy issues. And like I'm not trying to make a political statement or do anything like that. I just want to tell a story. And I just want to make something that people can enjoy and like and sort of lose themselves in. Like this one show I'm working on, it's just one story and the vast multitude of stories that can or should be told in this world. If I'm lucky and successful, I may make another series that isn't even about the witches. It's about some other group of people. Or I could make a tabletop role playing game or some sort of setting for a game where people can play and enjoy and make their own stories. Because what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to create is a property, is its own world that can be explored, loved, and lived in. That, at least that's what I want to do, and that's what I wish and desire to do. Okay, that's coming along nicely. Coming along nicely. Okay. Almost done with the hair. And I'm just doing like rough sketches of what I want the hair to look like and where I want it to go. Because he's walking rather slowly, it means that his hair doesn't have to fly too wildly. So that means that you're not going to see his hair like up in the air or anything like that or bobbing up and down. It's more so just slight movements. Okay. I got a call. I'll be back in 1 second. Hello, boys and girls. I am back. Thank you for being patient with me. My mom had called. She wanted to know what movie she was watching on Netflix, so I just told her the name of it. Didn't really pay much else attention. I was kind of just trying to, be quick and get back to you guys. So I was talking about this character. And yes. So because of the shift from, I want to say, infrastructure and industrialization to a more, what is the word? Uh Dang, I forgot the name of it. I'm in art mode, so my vocabulary is a bit diminished. Like I'm sort of just focusing on my art at the moment. But dang, I cannot think. I'm sorry. Like, but because of the shift of society, that's pretty much what I want to say. But because of the shift that society has taken from being, factory workers to having more social styles of commerce and income and jobs, it has led to a more, I want to say, laid back society. People have the ability and time now to pursue art and writing and literature and other forms of work like that. The technology has also advanced because magic, drop my pen, because magic exists and because magic is now used as sort of almost a backbone for society. It has allowed for the ease of it has allowed for the ease of commerce as well as the ease of other things. Like there are generators that siphon magic and use it to power cities and power places and different things like that. People charge their phones with a quick incantation. People can turn on and control their cars with magic. They can street lights are made of magic. Buildings run off of magic. Like even basic small feats of magic, like everyone can lift or levitate objects. Like a common practice is actually for mothers to like carry their children or rock their children to sleep using magic, where they will like magically levitate them and rock them back and forth. Like that is a common thing in this world. And the reason why I'm doing this is even though there is gonna be action and drama in my show, I'm not trying to have a typical fighting show or like a high action, high brawling show. Like you're gonna see more down to earth, somber moments where characters are plotting or where characters are like putting certain plans and ideas into motion. And so to actually make a world, make a living, breathing world, is not to just focus on fighting abilities or combat spells, but to look at the everyday Joe and Jane, to look at what they do and how they use this magic system. Because a lot of the pitfalls in anime, like Fairy Tail and like early Naruto, is that we mainly saw characters fighting. We mainly saw people like duking it out or using their power system to track somebody down or using their power system to like teleport or do other action things or things that can be used for action, which is why even though Boruto gets like the hate it gets, it does have some good advancements and it does do well in fleshing out the actual world, because in early Naruto, like we just saw early Naruto was like feudal Japan or like early China where people were just walking around and cooking or cleaning. But in Boruto, it's like you see people using chakra for more utility based things. Like there's a whole security system in the Hidden Leaf Village. There are like ninja tools where they have devices that can cast jutsu. In Fairy Tale, it's also very much, combat focused. And like there are lesser and smaller, magic tools and items. Like I think there was like a magic pen, and they essentially brought in like smartphones and other like objects like that. But as far as seeing like the everyday, people, there wasn't really much of a focus on it. To actually make a world and to actually engage your audience, you have to not just show the big, glorious, spectacular fights, but the lesser things, the smaller things are what really make the world come to life. Showing people and showing how people use this common resource that everyone has access to, that everyone can do or can try to do with a little bit of training and effort. You know, as I continue to like draw this character, I'm definitely getting like some unconscious uh Lord of the Rings vibes because of how I'm starting to, draw and redo his hair. Like this is giving me like Lord of the Ring. I I swear this wasn't intentional. This was like accidental. I was just like so deep into it. Like what you have to understand is like as an artist, and I'm gonna tell you guys this, so like you guys know, but like as an artist, whenever you're drawing something or working on something, it's like the things that you're interested in or the things that you really like and enjoy, sometimes they can have an unconscious sway on you to where you may accidentally or maybe sometimes even intentionally like draw things over and carry things over from like that other property or that other concept that was in your mind. So like I'm trying to give this guy a nice windswept, maybe sexy look, and now I'm getting like the like I think his name like Thranduil or maybe Legolas's dad. Like this frame right here, I definitely see like Legolas's dad in this sketch, and I'm trying not to. Dang, I'm sorry. when you try to draw elves, when you try to draw fantasy races, sometimes you go to other things for inspiration, even if it's unconscious. Oh yeah, so I guess I can like talk about my job a little bit while I'm working on this, but like I'm gonna be honest, I almost got tricked. Like at my job, I almost got tricked into like handing over some item. So essentially like this she works at a different location, but essentially like she bought a game, like a specific game, and she asked me to open the case so she could look at the other copy because when she got her copy, the case was rattling around, like the disc wasn't on the I think it's called like a spigot or not spigot, but it's not but the but her copy of the game, the disc wasn't on the plastic piece. I'll just call it spigot. The disc wasn't on the spigot, so it rattled around, and she was afraid that her copy of the game was gonna be damaged or scratched up or whatever, and she just wanted to see the copy that we had in our Walmart, so to see if that was like a normal thing that happens. Turns out it wasn't. Like the copy we had was on its spigot, and she's all like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to take mine back." So then I took the game from her. I put it in the case. I locked it up. And like a few minutes later, she came back. She came back to me and she said, "Like, hey, I work in Walmart. Can I just take this game? Like, I have my copy in the car." And I'll go to the car and I'll take it to customer service and return it here. And I'm like, no, ma'am, I don't think you can do that. Like, I have to keep it safe. And so like she's like, "Oh, I work with this store too. You can trust me. You can trust me." And I'm like, no, ma'am. I think you need to go through the proper channels. Even if you do work with Walmart, even if you are even if you do work with this store, even if you are like a trusted member, I can't let you just go take what you want and like go off of a promise saying that you're going to return it later. So I denied her. And it's like, I don't know. Like, I think she was trying to make me feel guilty or make me feel some type of way, like I'd back down. But keep in mind, I'm new. Like, okay, I'm new, and I'd much rather have people go through the proper channels because what happens is when you return a product, they either put the money back in your bank account or they give you like a gift card to buy a new version. So she's gonna have to go return her copy of the game, and then she could come back and officially buy the new copy. I can't just give her the game because we have security cameras. If they look at me through the security cameras and say, like, oh, you gave this game away, then I'm in deep shit. Then that's my job on the line. For all I know, maybe she didn't even have the game. For all I know, like she could have had the game, it'd be perfectly fine, and then she's gonna steal another one. No, I don't think so. Like so I'm pretty sure I did the right thing. But like there's a lot of stuff you have to like really watch out for. And another thing is like at my job, just because you accept the job offer doesn't mean you're gonna be at your correct position. Like I signed up to work in a specific area and like managers and team leads from other positions, they're all like, "Hey, come with me. I need your help XYZ." And I'm like, "Is that in my job description? I'm pretty sure I didn't sign up for that." But like, hey, the store that I work in is like very short staffed, which technically isn't my problem. They really should just be um they really do just need to like what's the word? Hire more people. But like people have been quitting left and right. Like where I work, they can't keep new people because the conditions are just so bad that nobody wants to stay long term. I mean, like I already know Walmart for me is temporary. It's short term. I know I'm not going to be here long. As soon as I can get another job, as soon as like this YouTube channel takes off, or like I get a graphic design position or some sort of animation position, I am leaving. Like that's what I say. Like guys, like, comment, subscribe. Even if it's like a negative comment or a mean comment, like subscribe, like do whatever you want to do. Cause like where I'm working, it's wild. It's crazy. People over there are crazy. They want you to do your job and a whole second job, but they don't want to pay you or compensate you for it. And like literally all my mom can say is welcome to the working world. Like that stuff is fucking normal. I'm like, no, that's not freaking normal. Like shit. I've been to college. I know about job descriptions and job orders and duties and workforce duties. You can't just drag a low level associate away, have them do another job that they aren't trained in or isn't their forte or isn't what they signed up for, and then expect things to be all hunky dory. That's how injuries happen. That's how people get injured or things start messing up, is when you take people away from the job that they weren't assigned for. And then if something gets fucked up or messed up, you gonna blame that lower level person when your ass shouldn't have been dragging them away from their job. Like shit. And then you already know those managers ain't gonna take personal responsibility. They're not gonna say like, oh, I shouldn't have taken this person away. Oh, this person doesn't have clearance, or oh, this person doesn't have training. No, they're gonna say, oh man, you messed up this order. You did this wrong. Now we gotta fire you, or now you gotta have points on your demerits. Like, no, you're the freaking manager. You're the leader. You're the one in charge. Take responsibility. Don't just shirk the blame on somebody else who shouldn't have even been there. You see, now I know why people say don't work in. Now I know And now you guys know why people say don't work in retail. And I'm serious. Don't work in retail. It doesn't matter what kind of freaking discount card or special benefits they can give you. I'm telling you guys right now, do not work in retail, especially certain retail places. Like, and if you do choose to work there, make sure you make it temporary. Like, you don't want to be in retail long term because it will destroy you. It will destroy you. It is not fun. Like, it is not right or good. Get in there, get a check, work for as long as you can, and bounce. Bounce as soon as you can. Bounce as soon as you are able to. Because the stuff they're going to have you do is whack and wild. But hey, what can you do? Honestly, yeah, what can a person do? I mean, I could quit, but I'm not gonna quit yet until I find another job. Like, I need money. I need to get ahead in advance and XYZ, whatever you want to call it. At least until something better happens. Like people are just wild. People are just wild and crazy these days. Like, be careful. Be careful where you work. Be careful what you choose to do. Make sure you read and know your job description. And also another thing, when you apply for a job and when you have a job, I'm just letting you guys know. Once you apply for that job, make sure you print your job description or whatever job offer you or whatever job offer you accepted, have that on hand, have it on file, and if they ask, and if anyone, manager, team member, whatever you want to call it, upper management, call you and say, hey, I need you to leave your position, hey, I need you to do XYZ, you hold up that job description and you hold up those qualifications and rules and you tell them, if it's not on this list, if it's not here, I ain't doing it because this is what I accepted. Like, for real, that's what I plan on doing. As soon as I like get some ink from my printer, I'm printing out my dang job description because I can say like, oh, is it in my job description? And that's the thing is like, I'll even tell them like, is that in my job description? Am I supposed to be doing that? And like, I can tell it gets on their nerves, and I can tell like, okay, I don't say it and I don't do it to hurt them. Like, I'm not trying to hurt people or be difficult, or I'm not trying to not be a team player. I do want to help and I do want to be a team player. I just want to do the job that I'm paid for and not do extra work that I'm not benefiting from. So when I say, is that in my job description? Am I supposed to be doing that? I can tell it irritates them and I can tell that they feel bad because they know what they're doing is wrong and they know what they're doing isn't right. And so when I say it makes them think. Which I mean, yeah, and like it's kind of horrible and it's kind of mean. Like, I'm not absolving myself from what I'm doing. Like, I know that saying like, oh, is it in my job description is a bit harsh, but at the same time, I have to protect myself and I have to look out for myself. Like, if I am stalking in the back or if I am like lifting heavy equipment or operating some vehicle, I'm definitely gonna say is that in my job description because what if I get hurt? Or what if somebody else gets hurt? And then do I get in trouble just because I'm doing something that's not in my job description, that's not what I signed up for? Like that's not fair to me. That's not fair to me as the employee to do something just because I was asked to do it, and then like heaven forbid a customer or somebody gets hurt. And then there's going to be a bunch of legal ramifications and other issues that can or may arise. Again, which is why as the manager, as a leader, someone in charge, if you're short staffed or if you don't have many people, you can't just pull other people away from their job, especially if they're not trained. You have to do it. You may have to do it alone. You may have to be the only one. You guys may be short staffed, but whatever you don't get done, I'm sorry, try your best, or it just doesn't get done, or you just won't meet quotas until you hire enough people to do it. But you can't put your subordinates in danger because you're responsible for them. And you can't shirk the blame onto them if something goes wrong. That's not how a leader acts. That's not how a manager or someone in a position of power acts. It you can do things either the easy way or you can do them the right way. Like that's how I was raised. And that's how I've always been as a leader. Whenever it was a high school project or a college project, like I always made sure that everyone was doing the role that was assigned to them. If they wanted to do extra work of their own volition, I did not stop them. But I always made sure that everyone had a task that they signed up for. And I, as the leader, if there's an open position or if there's something that nobody can do or no one is supposed to do, then I, as the leader, step up to the plate and I do that task. But no, you can't just endanger you can't just endanger your workers and your subordinates like that, cuz how they're operating, it's definitely putting workers in danger. And then those workers and those subordinates are going to take the fall. I probably got about maybe like 5 more minutes. I definitely don't want to spend too long on this stream because it's like 11:15 right now. I leave for the bus at like 1:10, 1:15, and then the bus comes usually around 1:30. What was I saying? The bus comes at like the bus comes at 1:30. So before that, it usually takes me like a couple minutes to pack my lunch. Ooh, and my mom made Spanish rice last night, and she also made like some chicken smothered in cream of mushroom. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. No, not cream of mushroom, golden mushroom. She also made some yams too. And my mom does this amazing thing where like she'll slice the yams up into like these trapezoid shapes and hexagon shapes. Then she'll like put brown sugar in there. She and then she puts like brown sugar, molasses, I think some lemon juice and crushed pineapple, and it comes out so freaking good. Like my family has a bunch of recipes and different things for like sweet potatoes and yams. It's amazing. My grandmother, when she was still alive, she would always make a sweet potato pie. Oh my gosh. And what's wild and what's funny is like my grandmother has 6 children, and a whole bunch of grandkids, but I'm the only one that has the sweet potato pie recipe. Like that's golden. Like, oh my gosh. That I'm sorry, like I'm getting all energetic and hyped on it, but like I love legacies and stuff like that. Like, and it's also kind of ironic because let me tell y'all a story. And I know it's kind of past Thanksgiving, but this is a story that lives with me. Like there was one time when I was like really young and little. I ate my grandmother again makes some amazing sweet potato pies. I ate four sweet potato pies by myself and I slept through Thanksgiving. Then I woke up like the next morning and I was sad because I missed Thanksgiving. That happened when I think I was like 8 or 9. Oh my gosh, I don't have like many wild crazy stories. I'm not like a storied person, but like when I have stories, they're pretty wild stories. Like anyway, I'm just having fun, chilling, vibing. Like things are pretty good right now. Witches 13. I finished I finished roughing out the character, his head. There's some like slight adjustments I need to do. Uh like yeah, this head right here, his chin is more downward, but as he continues to walk, his chin shifts upward. So I'm definitely gonna have to fix that. But what else? What else am I doing? And then as he's walking, his body, his head goes from like a 1/3 profile to a side view and then back to 1/3. So I'm definitely gonna have to work on the consistency with that. His head definitely looks bigger in this frame than in the last frame where it stops. So I'm definitely gonna have to work on some sizing consistencies. The hair just needs like slight adjustments. This first frame right here was when I was trying to like figure out how I wanted to draw his hair. So I'm just gonna erase that and I can either like sketch over it real quick or I can probably what can I do? Let's see. Right here. Eraser. Oops. Wrong tool. Just let me just go over here. Clean some of this up. And yeah. I better hurry this up. I don't want to be here till 11:30 cuz then I'm afraid then I'm going to be rushing. I'm going to be like freaking scared, freaking out or whatever. So let me just draw this real quick. Okay, perfect. That is pretty good. Pretty decent. Nice hair. Yes. Anyway, I am going to end the stream now. It is 11:22, so I have to pack up my lunch, get my shoes on, put on like a. I've been rocking in my chair, so you guys are probably getting like low volume, high volume. I was like, let me stand still. Anyway, I have to pack up my lunch, get my shoes on, put on a sweater or something, then like pack up, then like grab my phone, charger, jacket, maybe hat, put some cream in my hair. It's not gonna take. It sounds like it's gonna take a while, but it's really not. I just don't. I just want to have extra time so I can, sit down, chill a little bit before I have to go. I'm rambling. I'm eating up time. Anyway. This is what I've gotten so far. I've gotten down the rough sketch. Now I just need to do the final line art. There's still some, size inconsistencies that I have to fix and do. I'm gonna retouch that jaw right here later off camera, off stream. And then the next stream will probably be just me doing the final line art, finishing up this frame, coloring, then putting in the background. But yeah, going back to work. Guys, pray for me. Pray for me. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share even. I also have a buy me a coffee. Help me get out of retail. If you want to, you don't have to. I know you guys just like to hear me talk sometimes. But anyway, this has been Owoh's Corner, my own little corner of art. And I'll see you guys, my corner creeps, later.